Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. A little bit bare on the workspace here because I am actually in the process of building I don't want to call it the ultimate workbench, but something pretty close to it. Been trying to do it in my off time, but I'm finding that I think I need to actually have a full week off to do something like that, which I should have some time off coming up here soon. But in the meantime, I need to paint some miniatures and build some models. So I brought some of my GW paints here. I pulled out some of my other paints here, some the Vallejos and some couple other things here. Yeah, I need to paint something. So I'm going to do something pretty quick and easy. I'm going with an old Grenadier model. This is Orcus, the Demon Prince of the Undead. I got him mid-80s. It's when Grenadier and Ralpartha were two of the biggest names in miniatures. He stands pretty good. He's supposed to be 15 feet tall in the game, but he's a good size for a figure. The wings are separate. He was cleaned off. I had some old Tester's enamel all over him for a long time. So what I did was, when I decided to start this channel, I started stripping a lot of my old miniatures. I have some before pics of some of them. I didn't have one of him. So what I did was I did clean him in my ultrasonic cleaner with some LA's Totally Awesome, and I was able to get all of the old paint off of him. The wings were held on by super glue, which I think they broke off a couple times. No, I think it was actually epoxy. But I was able to dig all that out. I do plan on pinning the wings, and that'll be the first thing I do after this. I did prime the pieces in some Citadel Gray Sear. I do plan on using some contrast paints, but I'm not going to use them in the way that they were originally designed for. I tried slopping the paint on and letting it pool in the recesses, and so you have your highlights where it doesn't pool, your shades where it does pool, and there's a term called coffee staining, and that's all these figures looked like. By doing it like that, they looked like they were just coffee stained. In fact, I think I want to turn this off here for a second. I have a Poxwalker that I did I started to do in the contrast method. I'll show you that, and I'm not too happy with it, so I'm going to redo it. But I'm just going to use where's that here? Gilliman Flesh. I do like this color for shades, for flesh shades. I didn't do a zenithal highlight on him. I was thinking about doing a reverse zenithal by spraying everything from below at a 45-degree angle with the dark color. I haven't had much luck with zenithals in the past. Maybe I was just using the wrong models for them, but I do plan on using with some medium, the Gilliman Flesh. That's probably the wrong one. Nope, that's it. Gilliman Flesh. Going to use some flesh tones on him. I'm not going to do like red or anything like that. But he's got a lot of nice skin folds and nice areas for shading. There's a seam in here, a mold line I want to clean up a little bit, then recoat in some gray sear. The fur, I'm thinking about going like a dirty white fur. The wings, I don't want to do black like bat wings. I'm probably going to use, let's see, a couple colors here, some Citadel colors. Start off with some XV88, and then I will shake it up there. Shade that with some Reikland Flesh Shade, and then do a dry brush with some Angora Flesh. Give it a little bit more of not so like bat colors. But the staff here, or actually not staff, the wand of Orcus. I got a little special effect planned for him. It's supposed to be an obsidian wand. So I plan on painting this whole thing with a very bright red, except for the skull. I'll do the skull. Let's pull it back there. I'll do the skull just in just as a regular, and just look like a regular skull. And then over the black, I'm going to use this Candy Coat airbrush color from Minotaur. It's a paint line from Badger. This one is Oil Discharge, and basically using a brush, you don't have to, I'm not going to airbrush it on, but you completely cover over all of the red or whatever color you plan on using, and after it dries, it's a transparent color, so you'll see the red beneath it, but it'll look like almost like red cord obsidian. It's a really cool effect. So I'm going to do that with him. Now there's a lot of flesh on here. If I'm ambitious enough, which I think I'm going to be, I might try to do some tattooing on him as well. Just some tribal stuff on him. Maybe put some stars and pentagrams. But I'm going to go ahead and put him down there, and yeah, I'll grab that Poxwalker so I can show you that too. It's embarrassing, but I'll show it to you. First thing I'll do after that, I will go ahead. I do have I got my pin vise here. I will go ahead and I'll probably start by drilling a hole in the center here. The paint wasn't scraped off on the wings or the back. I actually used a product I use for modeling. This is Humbrol Mascol. It's liquid latex. That's all it is. But I put a dab there, sprayed them with the Gray Sear rattle can. Then after it dried, I just pulled it right out. This is made for like masking off things that you don't want to get paint on, like if you're doing canopies on aircraft or any kind of clear parts that have like a frame around them. But yeah, it works. But like I said, if you got liquid latex, it's the same thing. But okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, and next I will go ahead and get I'm not going to pin them together yet, but I'm just going to go ahead and get the pin in there, and then that way I can put it up against there, kind of move it around, get some scratches on them, then I'll know exactly where to drill into the hole in the back. So we'll have a perfect pin when it's complete. Okay, the paperclip is glued in. I gotta close up my super glue accelerator here. This stuff works wonders, and it smells incredible. Love it. There we go. I forgot the camera's moving the other way. Okay, so I'm gonna snip this here. I'll start it there. but I'm not going to leave it that long because there's no way that I am drilling that far into his back. So what I'll do is I'll just cut it down a little bit more, and then when I put it up against him, I'll move it around like this, get some scratches so I'll know exactly where to drill into his back. Let's put this down here. There we go. Alright, so I want to get an overhead shot because I've realized that with my camera being this way and me being a lefty, a lot of the stuff that I was doing probably couldn't be seen that well. So apologize for that. Okay, thought I bent it, but I didn't. A little tiny pin. So run like that. And I might actually have to bend this up a little bit. Just want to move that a little bit so I don't wiggle it too much and break the glue. Alright, so you can see the hole right there. So I will go ahead and get back in frame, use the trusty pin vise, start drilling a little bit, and that's a little bit more than what I drilled into the wings. I might snip that a little bit more, but like I said, I'm not gonna go ahead and glue this together right now, but I wanted to have it ready to go. So let me pause this. Actually, I'll just go ahead and start here. Okay, the wings are pinned on and he is ready for some paint. First thing I'm going to do though is get some more gray sear primer on him. Some of it rubbed off while I'm handling him. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to put him onto like a holder or like a pill bottle with some blue tack on there because he is pretty heavy. He is made of lead, like I said before, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to get that done and then be right back for first set of brush strokes. So let's paint the Lord of the Undead here. Be right back. Okay, so I've started working on his base skin tones. I'm using Citadel Colors Bugman's Glow, thinned down with a little bit of Flow Improver. This is a really nice color for starting off with your for skin. Over the top of this I'll probably put like a Cadian flesh tone. But I'll see what I have to work with. This is pretty thin, so you can see right there it's almost transparent in some spots. And then I also have a little bit more of that liquid mask in the hole in the back. That way I can make sure that no paint gets in there, so it'll have a clean bond when, or clean surface to bond with when I eventually put the wings back on. Using the wet palette for this one, I'm probably going to be mixing the Cadian flesh tone with a couple of lighter colors and start doing the blending with that. But I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, get all of his skin blocked in, and dog hair. So what happens when you have a Siberian Husky? There's dog hair everywhere. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up. Yeah, like I didn't do like a zenithal highlight on this, but I figured I could always hit all the shadows with the brush, all the undersides. And for the fur, I think I'm going to go with a like a dirty white. That should pretty much look like a nice contrast to the flesh tones. I'm going to finish all the flesh here, and then I'm going to go in and probably knock out the head. I'll get the skull painted up there, and then after that, work on the fur. So, okay, I will be right back with that. Alright, so I figure while I got the Xandri dust out, I'm going to do a little bit of, I don't think I want to start as dark as that Skaven Blight Dinge on the legs. It would take a long time to bring that up to a dirty white. So I'm just going to take got a little piece of sponge. I'm going to start down here by the hoofs. Just kind of sponge that on. And this is just the beginning. That's not going to be like the final look of it. A little bit of paint. These tweezers are nice because they're automatically shut, and then to open them up you squeeze them. Because the one thing I hate doing is trying to do some weathering on a piece of armor using this technique, and your hand starts cramping up from holding the tweezers. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start working on the rest of them. Okay, back from a long day at work. I'm putting some shading in. I'm using Reichlin Flesh Shade, and this is, I'm going to bring this over here. It's going to bleach out for a second. It's about it's a good reddish brown shade from Citadel Colors. I'm not going to do it all over wash. I'm just going to get right into the creases and the corners. Get under his moob there, between his fingers. Get a little bit more on my brush. Get his innie. And right through right by where his beard and his hair meets his skin. And all the creases in his muscles. If a little bit goes over, I'm just going to water my brush and just clean it off of there. Just to avoid any coffee staining. So I'm going to continue with this, and I will do a little bit on his wings too. Get his back, and then be back for the next stage. I think after that I'm going to probably look at getting the membranes of those wings painted up. And I could, if I really wanted to, I could have just went ahead and did an all-over wash with this, but you'd have spots all over the place where it pooled. And I really don't want to have to be trying to fix all that. I'm pretty happy with the way the skin tone turned out. Skin tones aren't really my strong point, which has been why I like painting things that have helmets and things like monsters and creatures. Very rarely have I painted anything with an actual face. You'll note, hence Orcus here. He doesn't have a humanoid face, so. But it's one of those things where it's like you have to jump in. And if you're uncomfortable doing something, if you're uncomfortable with a certain type of method or technique, and the only way you're going to get over it is to get in there and do it. So, but I'm liking the way this turned out. It's not the best, but hey, I'm not the best, so. But I am pleased with this. His ears. I'm still really up in the air about the color of the fur. I was thinking of gray, and then the tan was knocking around. I just don't think gray would look good with the rest of the colors. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up this shading here. Oh, too much on my brush. There we go. Too much on the brush will easily give you coffee staining. If you don't know what that is, if you ever let your coffee mug sit on a piece of paper or a newspaper and you get that ring around it when you pick it up, that is coffee staining. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and turn this off here and keep going. And then the next time I turn on the camera, it will be when it's time to paint up the wings. Hello. Okay, time to start painting the membranes on the wings. And I just smacked my light with the glasses that I'm wearing here. I'm using a color called XV88. I would love to find out how they got the name for this. It is a Citadel base coat, or base color. Citadel's got they got base colors, layer colors, technical colors, shades, all those fun things. I'm going to go ahead and get all the membranes painted with this. It's a nice, like a light leathery color, orangish brown, and then I will go ahead and shade this with some Reikland Flesh Shade. So we're doing the Reikland Flesh Shade for both the shading on Orcus himself, and it's going to be an all-over shade on the membranes of the wings. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the camera here. I will get all the membranes painted in because you don't want to see that, and then I'll turn it back on when it's time to do the shading. Okay, so I've gotten quite a bit done since the last time the camera was on. The wings have been shaded with Reikland Flesh Shade. Gives it a little bit of a reddish look to it. The next step on this is going to be to dry brush the membranes a little bit. That'll help to give it that nice leathery look. And then I went ahead and put some contrast paint on the fur here. I used, which one did I use? Skeleton Horde. A little bit of that. That didn't seem like it was dark enough for me, so I ended up using a little bit of snakebite leather because that's all I have at the time. I just wanted to get into the recesses because I still plan on dry brushing that a little bit to bring out the fur texture, and then might actually get in there with a detail brush and get some of the strands of hair there. For the big guy himself, did the same thing with I only did one side so I could show you the difference here. Again, going to dry brush the fur to get some of the texture, but I wanted to get some of that color like underneath the first layer of fur there. And I got his head to the base color on the face here. I put some Ushabti bone and then Skeleton Horde over as I drop him. That's why I need a handle, but he's so heavy. Skeleton Horde over the top of it. It's another contrast paint. And then once that dries, I will go ahead and do some dry brushing. Then I have to get his eyes and teeth. I'm going to do a little bit of detail on the horns. I was looking up some pictures of ram horns, and obviously the first thing that when you type in ram horns, first thing you're going to see is a bunch of Dodge trucks. So once I actually found some actual animal horns, I think I like the dark. I'm just going to get a little bit of red in there because there was one that I found with some reddish lines, and then dry brush that a little bit and get some shading. But yeah, he's coming out pretty good. Pretty happy with the results so far. Still am a little cautious about doing the scepter. I might actually put some of that mask gall on there just because I really don't want to get anything on the skin after I put all that work into it. But that'll be probably the last step. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to him, get the rest of the fur painted up with the contrast paint, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. So got his fingernails there, but that'll be one of the last things. But yeah, he's put together like that. I'm pretty happy with the results. So okay, we'll get back to it, and next time next scene here will probably be some dry brushing of the fur. So okay, I'll get back to that. Okay, working on the fur, doing a little bit of dry brushing with Vallejo Model Color Flat Earth. This side here has not been done. This side is in process. It's a couple colors that I'm going to be bringing up here. Let's start with the darker one and then just lighten it up a little bit. Was actually doing some editing before I went back to this. Yeah, realized all that footage I did with the skin tones and blending gone. So I took the memory stick out of the camera, reformatted it, and we'll see what happens. I'm still new to a lot of this stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and keep working on him. The wings are got a little bit more color on them there. and the fur in there. And then I will go ahead and bring this up just like the rest of it. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, keep on working on him, and then we'll see what the results are. I did a little bit of a experiment here. I put some of that mascol right around the hole in his back, and I wanted to see if it would take off any of the paint, because I plan on, if this becomes a little too tight in here for just regular painting, I was going to put some mascol on the skin so I don't lose any of the colors. I have to go back and do all that over again. That little bit of metal you see, that's where my X-Acto just kind of chipped it a little bit, but I did it there because all this area is going to be hidden by the wings. So if I have to do it, it'll work without taking off any paint. But I'm going to go ahead and keep on working on him and be back when we're done with it. Okay, so I have a bunch of dry brushing done on his fur. I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. So I am going to wrap that part of it up. I got some on his head too. And I actually just started using a Vallejo color, tan yellow, just doing little streaks every so often, just hitting one or two of these tufts of fur just to break it up a little bit. And I did the same thing on the wings here. I haven't gotten the tan yellow on there yet, but the brown tones have been dry brushed, and just a few of these here and there. Just add a little bit more color to them. But I will go ahead and keep working on that. Might be able to see it, might not. Put that there. But yep, I will go ahead and continue working on him. I'll be looking at the... Ooh, let's see. I gotta do the hoofs. Gotta finish his horns, his face, because his face almost looks like the same color as his fur right now. Blacken out the mouth area, do the teeth. But I'm not going to do that in this video. That's going to be in part 2. I decided after seeing some of my videos, after producing them, that they are pretty long, and I really don't want somebody having to sit for that length of a period of time to watch the whole thing. I haven't decided if I want to start doing these as like sped up with a narration, but in the meantime I'm going to split this one in half and see how that works, so at least I can get half the content up. So yeah, so we'll see you next time.